Hi, I'm Quentin, and this is my brother Jameson, and we did the 7 days of creation. We have like the water with fish, and then land with Adam and Eve and the first people. We got some animals. And then over there we got like the moon and the stars and the sun. And yeah, that's it.
Hi, my name is Nathan. That's Shalom.
Hi.
That's Sasha. Shalom is the resident blender. Sasha helped color things in. I am the manager. So, it's supposed to be the tree from the Garden of Eden, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And then there's the fruit of knowledge on a single branch. I didn't do Adam and Eve because I can't draw humans. And then I have a snake.
That looks like a stretched out orca.
Yeah, it looks like a long orca, but it's a cool snake.
I'm Ari Friedman, and my piece is about Cain and Abel.
Okay.
Cain is right here living. His mark is right here on his arm. It was supposed to be a skull. Okay. And he has grapevines. These are supposed to be grapevines because his offering was the fruit. And there is eyes all around him because everyone is looking at his arm because they know that he is protected by God, but they also know that he killed his own brother. And then up here is Abraham, still a little bit mad about what happened. And then there's the weather is lightning, is stormy clouds with lightning. But these 3 clouds show that even that God and Abraham are mad, that they still know Cain can be a good person and they are protecting him. God told Noah to cross, and this is a boat that God told Noah to make that could fit all the animals and all of his family and food and water. And that's Noah on the boat.
My story was about the flood. So it rained 40 days and 40 nights, and then there was an ark resting on the mountain, and Noah opened the window, and one of the ravens went out, and then he got another bird, which was a dove, and he let it go fly, and then it came back, and then he had it for 7 days, and then let it go for also 7 days, and then it came back knowing, and then he knew that there was land, so that he could go to the ark and find land, even though there was all this water. So he got in the ark with his wife and his sons and all the animals, and he went and found the dry land.
My name is Charlie Kotlicki, and I drew a ziggurat. Ziggurat was made of mud bricks, and they were trying to build it up into heaven. God didn't like that, and they were fighting, so he made them all speak a different language, so they could not finish building it.
There are many stories of Abraham. The first is that God comes to him and tells him, "Lech lecha, get out of your house and your home and all that you have known. And if you do, I will make you as numerous as the stars." And along the way, he meets a nice young lady named Sarah. And they have a good time together and all sorts of groovy adventures, but she does not have children. And it is probably Abraham's fault, but the Torah blames her because, patriarchy. But these three strangers, we don't know if they're angels or men or just random weirdos walking down the street, they find the tent and they announce that she will become pregnant, which is kind of crazy because she's a little bit up there in age, and she laughs, or maybe she doesn't laugh, but it's all pretty absurd, and they have a kid and it's wonderful, except for the fact that Abraham already has a son named Ishmael, who he had with Hagar, his maidservant, and well, Sarah does not take too kindly to there being some other male heir around, and they send away Hagar and Ishmael, and they are scared and hiding, but God sees them and does them a solid, and from their line we have the other branch of our tree. We believe that coming from them, that is the birth of Islam, and so we're all family, and hopefully we remember that more often. And that's a little bit about Abraham.
Hi, I'm Holly, and we drew what's it called?
The cityscape.
And we drew the cityscape, and we got buildings over there, we got the asteroids coming down here, and we got the buildings on fire over here. We detailed to where what the buildings were, just so they didn't look like rocks with blue and orange, and then the fire is the red part, and the meteoroids are the orange and red parts at the top. And then we got the bigger buildings on the side, and then we got the fiery, smaller parts in the distance on the other side. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sydney Strominger,
I'm Warren Strominger.
and we did the sacrifice of Isaac. So it starts off with Warren, would you care to
It starts off with Abraham connecting with God, and God telling Abraham to sacrifice his favorite son, Isaac. So then they travel across the land, and it takes like 3 days. And then they go to the temple where Abraham starts to sacrifice Isaac, starts the fire, starts everything. And then the angel descends down, or an angel from God descends down onto them and says to stop, and then sacrifice the ram. And so then they sacrifice the ram, he's dead, and then God says, "You are worthy," and then they go on their way.
So I am the story of Isaac and Rebecca. This was my bat mitzvah portion, so a little special. In it, the servant of Abraham goes to find a wife for Isaac. He is in the desert with his camels when he comes across some water and some women drawing water for their households at the pond. And so he asks one of the young women if he can have some water for himself and his camels. She says, yes, of course. And she gives him water, and she gives him water to his camels. And he sees how friendly and nice she is. He says, you'll make an excellent wife for my master's son. So he gives her some jewelry, and she goes to her father. And he says, this sounds like a good deal to me. And so he goes back with Rebecca to Isaac, and they get married and live happily ever for a while. Like, I worked for 7 years, I get to marry Rachel. So now that's the wedding, and then he wakes up, and that's the tiny bed right here. And he wakes up, and he's like, that's not Rachel, is it Leah? Leah?
It's Leah, yeah.
Leah. And then, the father of Leah and Rachel is like, well, we wanted you to marry the oldest, but you can marry Rachel in like a week, but you have to work for an additional 7 years. So then he's working, and Leah is like getting pregnant, and Rachel's upset because she can't. And then they have this weird thing with their servants, I guess you could call them servants, right? And they have, Isaac now has 12 sons, and they're actually mad at each other, and then they have 12 sons. And then those 12 sons turn into 12 different tribes. My name is Brian. I created Joseph and his jacket and his dreams. And in this dream, he was working, and then the hay bales, they stood straight up and started to bow down to him. And in his second dream, the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bow down to him. And also he has a marvelous jacket.
Hi, I'm Eli, and for this I drew Pharaoh's dream, where he has a dream about 7 big cows, and 7 fat cows, and 7 skinny cows that walk out of the Nile. And then he takes it to his dream to Joseph to get interpreted. And Joseph says that his dream basically means that there will be 7 years of good things and 7 years of bad things.